everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into the new fall collection from Chantecaille. They launched 2 eye quartlets and a few lip cheeks, and we're going to get into it. As many of you guys know, Chantecaille has kindly sent me PR in the past. They oftentimes send me PR, but everything that I use in today's video I purchased myself, just to make that clear. Go ahead and talk about the eye quartlets first. So they launched 2 different eye quartlets. One is the Cougar and one is the black Jaguar. Now, I only decided to buy one of them. I was gonna buy both, but these are $75 each, and it just didn't really fit my budget to get both. So I picked which one I felt like I would use more. And the black Jaguar does have some really pretty kind of blues and stuff like that in it, but I don't traditionally wear a lot of blue eyeshadows, so I didn't really feel like I would wear that a lot. And because it didn't fit into my budget, you guys, fall's coming and there's a lot of launches coming, so I decided to buy the Cougar and 2 lip cheeks. So let's go ahead and talk about the black Jaguar eye quartlet. So again, it retails for $75 for 4 shadows. The shade 1 is described as a chromatic pearl, shade 2 is a shimmering bronze, shade 3 is a matte black, and shade 4 is a dazzling ink blue. And this is created to support the Amazon Sacred Headquarters Initiative. 2 lip cheeks that they launched is Orchid, which is described as a deep berry, and then they also launched Passiflora, which is a rich mauve. Now, I didn't buy either one of those, but they're really pretty. In this video, it's all going to be about this Cougar eye quartlet, and I also picked up 2 of the lip cheeks. So in the Cougar eye quartlet, shade 1 is described as a matte creamy vanilla. Shade 2 is a dusty rose champagne. Shade 3 is a burnished copper, and shade 4 is a matte gray. Now, I will be completely honest with you guys. When I saw the images of this, I did not realize that this top shade was matte. I should have read it. I was in a hurry when I bought it. I should have read it. But when I first saw it, I thought it was a shimmer shade, but this is more of like a bone matte shade. So just FYI, this was created to support Yellowstone Forever and the 150th anniversary of the Yellowstone National Park. So the 2 shades that they launched with this collection is Yarrow, which is described as a peachy nude, and Prairie Smoke, which is a mocha nude. So I bought both of them. These shades are really pretty, but they are very similar to other shades that I have from Chantecaille in their lip cheeks, so I will definitely swatch these shades next to other lip cheeks that I have in my collection so you guys can see how they compare and if it's something that you guys want to pick up. So that is all of the deets. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the tutorial of me playing with the Cougar eye quartlet and also trying on the 2 lip cheeks. And we're gonna go ahead and get into the swatches, and I'm gonna swatch this palette next to other palettes that I find that might be similar in tone, and just to see if this is something you guys really need in your collection. And then of course, I will share the swatches of the lip cheeks and the comparisons to the other lip cheeks that I have. Then we'll jump into my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I will see you guys all in my final thoughts. Okay, so the palette and the 2 lip cheeks that I ordered have arrived. Let's go ahead and unbox it. So this is the packaging. This is the box that it came in. The outside packaging of the actual palette looks exactly the same as the box. So when you open it up, it has this little protector thing. Let's do kind of a close-up on it. So those are the 4 shades that come in this palette. I'm a little bit hesitant about the gray color, I'm not gonna lie, because normally I struggle with gray shades. I have a hard time applying them, blending them out, making them look good. Gray doesn't really complement my warm olive skin, so I struggle with that shade. It's just not a very complimentary shade on me, so I'm a little bit concerned about it, but this gray does have a little bit of a blue base to it, so we'll see. Great pigment. It feels really creamy as it blends out. So the 4 shades swatched, and I am a little bit nervous about this eye look. I'm kind of curious how I'm going to make it work. I am never a fan of, I have to say this because you guys know, I'm never a fan of bone shades in a 4-pan palette. For some reason, I was thinking this was a shimmer. I didn't know it was a matte when I looked at the images and stuff online. For some reason, I was assuming it was a shimmer. I'm not sure why, but I'm never a fan of a bone shade in a 4-pan quad, especially for $70 some because it's kind of a waste. If I need a bone shade to blend out, I can totally grab it from another palette. Paying that much money for a quad and having a bone shade feels very wasteful to me, and it feels like it's like a missed opportunity to put something really beautiful in there. So the bone shade I'm a little bit disappointed with. Again, I thought it was a shimmer and it's not, it's a matte. So just be mindful. But I am gonna start with this in the crease just to see what it looks like in my crease. I don't think it's gonna show up, but it might be a nice base to start the look off with. So I'm just gonna sweep it in the crease right here. This side has it, this side doesn't. And I don't know that you can even tell. I don't think that it's really not noticeable. Next up, I wanna put this purple shade on my lid. So I'm gonna take the Smith 253 brush and I'm gonna place that right here on the lid and then kind of sweeping it up and into the crease. It kind of has a soft kind of purpley mauve undertone to it. Okay, now let's go in with this gray color. I'm a little bit nervous, but we don't know until we try, right? So I'm gonna sweep that right here in the crease over top of that bone shade. And I'm hoping that the bone shade will kind of tone down some of the gray in this. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of that on my outer corner. So I'm gonna take the E5 from Makeup by Mario, and I'm just gonna sweep that here on the outer corner. I'm gonna go back into the bone shade, and I'm gonna use the bone shade to go right over top of this. Now, what I can say about that gray shade, even though I am a little intimidated by the gray shades, this gray is pretty manageable. So it's pretty easy to use, and it does blend out really easily, and it does have a pretty tone to it. So it's not an ugly gray. I mean, it could be worse. I've seen worse. I was thinking about using this shade, which is kind of a coppery brown color, on the lower lash line. I think it might be kind of pretty. We'll see what it does. I am gonna grab the Esom V27 brush. So I'm gonna go in and grab this shade. That's a pretty color. It's not super strong, and it does look pretty on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna take my blending brush and I'm gonna go into this shade. It's a soft shimmer, and so I think it would be really pretty in the crease to kind of bring some color up here, kind of deepen it up. That color complements that gray really well. Better than I was expecting it to. I'm gonna take a flat tip brush and I'm gonna go into the gray, and I'm gonna smoke that into the lower lash line. I think I'm also going to put a little bit of that here on the outer corner just to kind of deepen it up. I'm just gonna grab my brown eyeliner. Okay, so my eye makeup is done. I have a lot of thoughts about this palette, but I'll definitely save that for my final thoughts. But for now, we're gonna move on to the 2 lip cheeks that I picked up. Now, I personally love Chantecaille's lip cheeks, so I can never stop myself from buying a few of them, especially when it's a new collection. Packaging is really pretty. It's kind of half tan, half brown. It's really pretty. And then the actual packaging is the same. So this top piece is lighter than the bottom piece. So this is Prairie Smoke and this is Yarrow. So they kind of both have kind of a pinky mauve-y undertone. So I'm gonna first put on Prairie Smoke. That's pretty. It's lightly tinted, but it's a really pretty color, and it complements the eye makeup really well. I do like the way that this complements the eyes. It's really pretty. So this is Prairie Smoke, and I didn't put on anything underneath it, so I don't have a lip liner or anything like that on. And then this is Yarrow. They're both quite similar on the lip. So if you were interested in these, I would personally just get one. I don't think you need both of these, but the shade, the only difference is the Prairie Smoke is a tad bit darker and a little bit more pigmented. Like it's got a little bit more pigment than the Yarrow, but the Yarrow is really pretty. It seems like the only difference is the Prairie Smoke is a little darker, but on me and my complexion, they're both similar enough that you definitely don't need both. So that's it for the try on portion of the video. Let's go ahead and jump into the swatches, and I'm gonna swatch this palette and the two lip cheeks next to other lip cheeks that I have in my collection, so you guys can kind of see how these shades compare, and then we will get into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. So let me go ahead and get into my final thoughts. First off, I really didn't have any struggles using this palette. Everything blended beautifully. It's nicely pigmented. It's very complimentary on the eye. And even this matte gray, which I was a little apprehensive about, it did turn out really pretty. It is a nice gray color. However, on the flip side, I would have preferred something different than this bone shade. I'm never a big fan of eye quartlets, especially when they cost $75, having a bone shade. Now, we have so many palettes with bone shades. If we need a bone shade to blend something out or to build on top of, then we can pull it from another palette. But I've always felt like it was a waste in these highly expensive quads to have a bone shade. It seems so not necessary in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It is a nice palette, but truthfully, I would probably skip this one, even though the shades are really pretty. I didn't have any struggles with it. There's really not gonna be a lot of looks that you're gonna be able to create with just these 4 shades. I feel like it's like you're gonna get the same look over and over and over. Now, you could go all over the lid with this and blend it up into the crease and be done, like an all-in-one look. But I kind of feel like they're missing something with this palette. It needs something, and I can't quite put my finger on what it's missing. But I also feel like if you have a deeper complexion, this is not gonna cut it for you. This palette is really not gonna build a lot of depth. Even though this is a darker shade, it doesn't have a lot of depth, and it does build, but it's gray. So I feel like if you have a deeper complexion, this would be a pass. However, I do think the Black Jaguar palette would be a better match for you if you have a deeper complexion. Because, I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen someone with a gorgeous, I love deep complexions. Like anybody that's like dark deep, I love a deeper complexion. I'm just into it. And I've never seen a blue eyeshadow look bad on someone with a darker complexion. I've never seen it. Blue always pops on that darker complexion. If you guys noticed in the swatches, if you have the Glam palette, you pretty much have this palette. So if you really like the eye look that I'm wearing, you can create the same look using this palette. it's just, they're very similar. The only difference is this one from Chantecaille is not as strong as far as the shimmers go. I mean, we all know that Natasha Denona has really strong, bold shimmers. So if you're wanting something a little bit lighter on the eyelid, maybe just go in with a lighter hand. Don't put too much on the brush. Go in with a light hand and blend it out really well. And you could pretty much achieve the same look what I'm wearing with the Glam palette. So that's another reason why I can't fully recommend this palette. It's a nice palette, but it's $75. I love the packaging, which the packaging alone is just beautiful. I love Cougars. It didn't really blow me away, and the color story didn't really speak to me in a way. They are much softer on the eye than Natasha Denona. They're gonna be less shiny, less sparkly. So if you're someone that doesn't really like a lot of sparkly eyeshadow, and you want something that's softer in this purpley cool tone eye look, then you will love this palette. So I feel like it'll fit a specific need, but I can't fully recommend it all across the board because I could create the same look from the Natasha Denona Glam palette, and the color story just doesn't speak to me on another level. Like, as far as the lip cheeks go, I really like them. As you can tell in the swatches, they are very similar to a few of the other Chantecaille lip cheeks that I have. So I do hope that those swatches were helpful. But I personally love lip cheeks, so the more the merrier, because I will keep a couple of them in my purse at all times. It's just one of my things. I just love the lip cheeks. But overall, that's it for this video, you guys. Sound off down below. How many of you guys have picked up this Cougar collection or the Black Jaguar collection? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Sound off down below and let us know your experience with either one of them or both of them. Let's just have a conversation. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.